Every morning when the world is still quiet, before the rush, before the noise, before the world demands something from you, there lies a golden opportunity that very few people take. A walk alone. Just you, your breath, your thoughts, and the path ahead of you. Walking every morning, alone, is not just about fitness, it is about clarity. It is about centering your mind before the chaos begins. It is about reminding yourself that if you can stay consistent with one small habit, you can be consistent in every area of your life. When you walk alone, you listen more deeply. You hear the rhythm of your own breath, you notice the sound of birds, you feel the crisp air touch your skin, and slowly, you reconnect with yourself. In a world that constantly pulls you outward, walking alone every morning pulls you inward. It is where real strength is born. Consistency is the key. A single walk will make you feel fresh, but daily walks will transform you. The discipline of showing up for yourself every single day builds trust. You begin to believe in your own word. And when you can trust yourself, you become unstoppable. Because the hardest person to lead in life is yourself. And once you master that, everything else becomes easier. On these walks, you are not just moving your legs, you are moving your mind. You are moving your spirit from confusion to clarity, from stress to peace, from weakness to strength. You begin to notice that the best conversations are not always with others. Sometimes they are with yourself. A morning walk alone gives you space to ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be today? What energy do I want to carry into the world? It is not about speed. It is not about distance. It is about showing up every single morning. Because when you choose to walk, even when you don't feel like it, you are training your mind to choose growth over comfort. And that choice, repeated daily, shapes your destiny. So tomorrow morning, when the alarm rings and your bed feels warm and comforting, remember this: success does not start in the big moments of life. It starts in the small decisions. The decision to wake up, to put on your shoes, and to walk alone. Not because you have to, but because you choose to. One day, you will look back and realize that these simple, consistent walks gave you more than health. They gave you discipline, clarity, inner strength, and the courage to walk the bigger paths of life. Keep walking, keep showing up, keep choosing yourself. There is a simple truth about life that we often ignore, and that truth is this: greatness is not built in the moments of inspiration, but in the moments of consistency. Every morning, when you take a walk alone, it might look like nothing extraordinary is happening. You are simply putting one foot in front of the other, breathing in and out, moving through the same path you walked yesterday. But hidden in this simplicity lies one of the most powerful forces of transformation: the power of consistency. Think about it. A single walk will make you feel fresh for a while. But will it change your life? Probably not. Missing a walk once may not matter. But what happens when you make this a daily practice, when you repeat it every morning with discipline, when you show up not once, not twice, but hundreds of times? Something remarkable begins to shift within you. You begin to train your mind to do what is right, not what is easy. That is where strength is born. Consistency is not about the action itself, it is about what that action represents. Every time you wake up and walk alone in the morning, you are sending a powerful message to yourself: I can depend on me. I can trust myself. I keep my word to myself. And when you can trust yourself, your confidence multiplies. Because if you can do the small things repeatedly, you will trust yourself with the bigger things in life. Look around at people who have achieved mastery in their fields. Athletes, musicians, spiritual leaders, entrepreneurs. None of them became extraordinary by doing something once in a while. They became extraordinary because they repeated the small, often boring, daily habits that compounded over time into greatness. The secret of their success is not motivation, it is consistency. Motivation may get you started, but consistency is what keeps you going. When you walk every morning alone, you might feel at times that nothing is changing. But just like water dripping on a rock eventually leaves a mark, Your consistent effort leaves a permanent impact on your mind and character. Every step you take builds a layer of resilience. Every walk you finish builds a layer of discipline. And slowly, without even realizing it, you are building a fortress of strength within you. Consistency also gives you something even more valuable than physical health. It gives you stability of mind. Think of your mind as a restless child, always looking for distraction, always wanting comfort. But when you bring your mind to walk daily, even when it resists, you are teaching it discipline. You are teaching it that comfort is not the goal, growth is. The more you repeat this, the more your mind begins to listen to you. And when you control your mind, you can control your life. There will be days when you don't feel like walking. Days when your body feels heavy, when your bed feels too comforting, when excuses whisper in your ear. Those are the days that matter the most, because it is easy to show up when you feel like it, but true consistency is built when you show up even when you don't. Every time you overcome that resistance, you add one more brick to the foundation of your inner strength. Imagine planting a seed. If you water it once and then forget about it, will it grow? Of course not. If you water it today and then again after a month, it may not survive. But if you water it every day, consistently, with patience, even if you don't see results in the beginning, one day you will see it grow into a tree. That is how consistency works in your life. Your daily walk alone is like watering the seed of your discipline. You may not notice changes in the beginning, but keep walking and one day you will look back and see how far you've come. Consistency also builds identity. Every walk you complete adds to the story you tell yourself about who you are. If you miss often, your mind says, I can't stick to anything. But if you keep showing up, your mind begins to say, I am disciplined, I am strong, I am reliable. This shift in identity is priceless because we always act in alignment with who we believe we are. If you see yourself as disciplined, you will naturally become more disciplined in other areas of life. Your work, your relationships, your goals. Walking alone every morning is a small act, but consistency makes it sacred. It is your daily reminder that success is not about doing something once in a while with intensity. It is about doing something daily with sincerity. Intensity can create moments, but consistency creates legacies. Think about the sun. It rises every morning, without fail. Whether we notice it or not, whether we appreciate it or not, it shows up. And because it shows up consistently, life on earth exists. Your morning walk is like your personal sunrise. It is your way of showing up for yourself every single day. And just like the sun gives life to the world, your consistency gives strength to your spirit. There is also something beautiful about the rhythm of walking. Each step is a reminder that progress is not about leaps, but about small, steady movements. Consistency teaches patience. It teaches you that real change is slow but certain. It may take weeks, months, even years, but with consistency, you will always reach your destination. When people give up on their goals, it is rarely because they are incapable. It is usually because they lack consistency. They start with excitement, they give their best for a few days, then they stop. But those who succeed understand that consistency is not glamorous. It is not exciting every day. Sometimes it feels repetitive. But it is in that repetition that greatness is born. Every morning walk alone is a victory over laziness, over excuses, over the part of you that wants to remain average. And with every victory, your inner strength grows. You may not notice it daily, but others will see the change in you. They will see the discipline in your character, the calm in your mind, the glow of your health, and they will ask, what's your secret? And you will know that the secret is simple. You just kept walking consistently. There is a story of a sculptor who was asked how he created such beautiful statues out of stone. He replied, I don't create the statue. The statue is already inside the stone. I just keep chipping away consistently until it reveals itself. In the same way, your best self is already inside you. Every morning walk, every act of consistency, is like chipping away at the stone of laziness, fear, and doubt until the best version of you is revealed. Consistency is not just about discipline. It is about love. Love for yourself, love for your growth, love for your future. When you walk every morning, you are telling yourself, I matter. My growth matters. My future matters. And that love expressed through consistent action is the greatest gift you can give yourself. So, when the alarm rings tomorrow morning, don't think about how far you have to walk. Don't think about how tired you feel. Just think about this: every step I take is building my inner strength. Every morning I walk alone, I am becoming the kind of person who can be trusted, who can endure, who can win. Keep walking. Keep showing up. Because consistency is not just what builds your habit, it is what builds you. When was the last time you were truly alone with yourself, without your phone, without music, without any distraction, just walking in silence? In today's world, solitude has become rare. We are surrounded by noise, the noise of notifications, the noise of opinions, the noise of endless information. But inside this noise, we often lose touch with the most important voice of all, our own. That is why walking alone every morning is not just a habit, it is a sacred practice. It is a daily appointment with yourself. It is a meeting with your own soul. As you take those first steps in the quiet of the morning, something magical begins to happen. The world has not yet woken up fully. The traffic is lighter, the chatter of people is softer, and you are gifted with something precious: silence. And in that silence, your mind starts to breathe. You begin to hear thoughts that are normally buried under the rush of the day. You notice feelings that you never give time to. You find clarity that cannot come when you are always surrounded by noise. Walking alone is like wiping the dust off a mirror. Every day, your mind gathers dust. Worries, anxieties, other people's opinions, social media comparisons, endless to-do lists. By the time evening comes, that dust makes it hard to see clearly. But every morning, when you walk alone, you wipe that mirror clean. You begin the day with clarity. You know what matters. You know what doesn't. And that makes all the difference. There is a misconception that solitude is loneliness. But they are not the same. Loneliness is feeling empty when you are alone. Solitude is feeling full when you are alone. And walking every morning gives you that fullness. It teaches you that you are enough, that your own company can be peaceful, even enjoyable. When you walk alone, you discover that you do not always need external entertainment to feel alive. You realize that your inner world is rich, deep, and worth exploring. Have you noticed that some of your best ideas come when you are walking? That is not a coincidence. Science has shown that walking stimulates creativity. But more than science, it is the power of solitude. When you are not bombarded with other people's voices, your own voice finally has the space to speak. Great thinkers, writers, leaders, many of them used walking as a practice to think deeply, to connect with themselves, to solve problems. You too can use your morning walks as a way to clear confusion, to process emotions, to find direction. Clarity is not something you stumble upon by chance. It is something you create by giving yourself space to listen, and solitude provides that space. When you walk alone, you are not escaping from life, you are preparing for it. You are tuning your mind before the day begins. Just as a musician tunes his instrument before playing, you tune your thoughts before living. Without tuning, music sounds chaotic. Without solitude, life feels chaotic. In solitude, you begin to see patterns. You begin to notice where your thoughts are leading you. You realize which habits are serving you and which are harming you. You may even notice emotions you have been avoiding. And in that awareness lies clarity. Because the first step to change is always awareness. You cannot change what you are unaware of. Morning solitude is like switching on a light in a dark room. The moment you see clearly, you can begin to arrange your life with purpose. Sometimes we fear being alone with ourselves. Because in solitude, the mind brings up truths we try to ignore. It shows us our mistakes, our regrets, our fears. But don't run from it. This is where true growth begins. Walking alone every morning teaches you courage. The courage to face yourself. The courage to listen to what your heart has been whispering all along. And once you listen, you find clarity about what really matters in life. So many people live their lives chasing shadows, running after things they don't even want, living by other people's expectations, confusing business with purpose. Why? Because they have never slowed down to ask themselves, what do I really want? What kind of life do I want to build? What kind of person do I want to become? Walking alone every morning is your chance to ask those questions every single day. And when you ask consistently, the answers begin to surface. Clarity also comes from observing. When you walk alone, you notice the world differently. You see the sunrise, the trees, the way the world awakens slowly. And these small observations remind you of life's simplicity. You realize that happiness is not in complicated things. It is in breathing deeply, in noticing beauty, in being present. This clarity protects you from being lost in the endless race of more, more, more. It grounds you in the truth that less is often more, that peace comes from simplicity, not from excess. Many of us complain that life feels overwhelming, that we don't know where we are headed. But overwhelm is not a sign of too much work. It is a sign of too little clarity. When you don't know what to focus on, everything feels urgent. But when you have clarity, you prioritize. You act with intention. And your morning solitude gives you this gift every day. It resets your compass. It helps you remember your direction before the storms of the day try to blow you off course. There will be times when your mind resists solitude. It will say, I need music, I need company, I need something to fill this silence. But if you stay with it, you will begin to see the beauty of silence. Silence is not empty. It is full of answers. It is full of wisdom. It is full of strength. Walking alone every morning teaches you how to befriend silence, how to sit with it, how to draw power from it. You will also notice that when you begin your day with solitude, you interact with others differently. You become calmer, more patient, more centered. Because you have already emptied your mind of unnecessary clutter, you don't carry that restlessness into your conversations. You listen better, you connect better. Clarity through solitude not only improves your relationship with yourself, but also with the people around you. Remember this, life does not change when you do something once. It changes when you do something daily. A single morning walk may give you a little peace, but walking alone every morning consistently builds clarity into your lifestyle. It becomes part of who you are. And when clarity becomes your nature, confusion loses its grip on you. Think of your mind like a muddy pond. If you keep stirring it, it stays cloudy. But if you let it settle in silence, the water becomes clear. Walking alone every morning is your way of letting your mind settle. Slowly, the mud of stress and worry sinks to the bottom, and clarity rises to the top. From that clarity, decisions become easier, purpose becomes stronger, and life becomes lighter. So tomorrow morning, when you lace up your shoes and step out alone, don't think of it as just exercise. Think of it as your daily ritual of clarity. With each step, you are moving away from confusion and closer to peace. With each breath, you are releasing noise and inviting wisdom. With every moment of silence, you are building a deeper connection with yourself. Do this long enough, and you will see how much lighter life feels. The problems may still be there, but your mind will be clear enough to handle them. The world may still be noisy, but you will carry silence within you. And that inner silence will guide you better than any advice, any book, or any external voice ever could. Walking alone every morning is not just about the body moving. It is about the mind settling. It is about the soul awakening. It is about finding clarity in a world that thrives on confusion. Make it your daily practice, and you will notice that life itself begins to feel more meaningful, more peaceful, and more beautiful. Keep walking, keep listening, and keep finding clarity in the gift of solitude. Destiny is not written in the stars, it is written in the choices we make every single day. When people look at successful lives, they often think it is luck, talent, or opportunity that makes the difference. But the real difference is something much simpler, something available to everyone, yet practiced by very few: discipline. Discipline is the bridge between your dreams and your reality. And one of the simplest, yet most powerful, ways to build that discipline is through a daily walk, alone, every morning. When you choose to walk every morning, even when you don't feel like it, you are practicing discipline. And discipline is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. Each time you resist the temptation to sleep longer, to make excuses, to delay your growth, you are strengthening that muscle. And as that discipline grows, it spills over into every other part of your life. You begin to eat better, work better, speak better, live better. Discipline is not punishment. Many people confuse discipline with restriction. But in reality, discipline is freedom. Without discipline, you are a slave to your moods, your impulses, your comfort. You live reactively, constantly pulled in every direction by circumstances. But with discipline, you live proactively. You decide how your day begins, how your energy flows, how your life unfolds. When you walk alone every morning, you are not just exercising your body, you are exercising your freedom, the freedom to choose growth over comfort. Think about a river. If it flows without boundaries, it becomes a flood, destructive and chaotic. But when the same water is channeled with discipline, it generates power, it nourishes, it gives life. The same is true of human energy. Without discipline, your energy is scattered and wasted. But with discipline, your energy is focused and powerful. Your morning walk is like building the boundaries of your river, giving direction and purpose to your life force. Destiny is not shaped in the big moments of life, it is shaped in the small daily decisions. The decision to wake up instead of snooze. The decision to walk instead of scroll. The decision to choose discipline instead of comfort. These small decisions repeated over time create habits. And your habits, more than your wishes or intentions, shape your destiny. There will always be temptations pulling you away from discipline. The bed will whisper, "Stay a little longer." Your mind will say, "One day won't matter." But this is where destiny is decided, in those quiet, private battles with yourself. No one is watching. No one will know if you walk today or not. But you will know, and your destiny will know. Because every time you give in, you weaken your self-trust. And every time you stay disciplined, you strengthen your future. The truth is, discipline is not always comfortable in the present, but it always brings comfort in the future. Laziness is comfortable in the moment, but painful in the long run. Discipline is painful in the moment, but rewarding for a lifetime. When you walk every morning, you are proving to yourself that you are willing to embrace short-term discomfort for long-term strength. And that mindset alone can change the entire course of your destiny. Discipline is also what separates intention from action. Everyone intends to be healthy, happy, successful. But intention without discipline is like a seed without water. It will never grow. Your morning walk is the water. It is the proof that your intentions are not just dreams, but commitments. And when life sees your commitment, it responds with results. Walking alone each morning also teaches you something profound about discipline. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Discipline is not always about doing something extraordinary. It is about doing something ordinary, consistently, with sincerity. Just walking one step after another every single morning. And slowly, those simple steps shape a powerful destiny. Because your future is not built on occasional intensity, but on daily consistency guided by discipline. There will be mornings when discipline feels heavy. You may wonder, why am I doing this? What difference does it make? But those are the moments that shape your destiny the most. Because discipline is not tested when things are easy, it is tested when things are hard. And every time you pass that test, you rise above your old self. You become stronger, more resilient, more unshakable. Imagine your life as a book. Each day is a page. Without discipline, the pages are scattered, messy, inconsistent. But with discipline, every page is written with purpose. Slowly, you are writing a story worth reading. And when you look back one day, you will realize that discipline was the pen with which you wrote the story of your destiny. Walking alone every morning is not just physical exercise, it is spiritual training. It is training your spirit to lead your body, to lead your mind, to lead your life. It is telling yourself, I am in charge, not my comfort, not my laziness, not my excuses. I am in charge. And when you live with that mindset, you no longer drift through life, you drive it. You take the wheel of your destiny firmly in your hands. We all want success, peace, happiness. But these are not random gifts that life throws at some and withholds from others. They are outcomes of discipline. Show me a peaceful person, and I will show you a disciplined life. Show me a successful person, and I will show you disciplined habits. Show me a fulfilled person, and I will show you discipline in how they choose to live. Destiny bows to discipline, not to wishes. When you commit to walking alone every morning, you are not just forming a habit. You are practicing self-mastery. And self-mastery is the foundation of all mastery. If you can master yourself, there is nothing in the world you cannot master. But if you cannot master yourself, even the best opportunities in life will slip through your fingers. Discipline is also contagious. The more disciplined you are in your morning walk, the more discipline spreads into other parts of your life. You become disciplined in your work, in your relationships, in your finances, in your spiritual practices. Your life becomes organized, balanced, meaningful. And slowly, without even realizing it, you are building a destiny that reflects your highest potential. Remember, discipline is not about perfection. You may miss a day, you may falter. But what matters is that you return again and again to the path of discipline. Because discipline is not about never failing, it is about never quitting. And as long as you keep coming back, your destiny will keep unfolding.